So all my Airbnbs are about 2 to 4 hours away from me. I have 7 Airbnb units and they're all pretty far. So the best way I handle it is I don't like to outsource the administrative part because the property management bit is super expensive. If you outsource it to a property manager that does short-term rentals, they're gonna charge a premium. They're not gonna charge the normal 10% for long-term rentals. They're gonna charge a short-term rental rate, which is about 20 to 30% of every single booking. That is a significant profit that they will cut right out of your gains. So I typically tend to manage it myself, but I do outsource all of the cleaning, all of the maintenance work, all of the contracting work, all the things like installing the ACs, taking down the ACs, fixing this and that. I have all the cleaners and or contractors and plumbers and electricians, all the people locally. I have a team that I have curated over the years and they kind of handle everything. So I personally don't outsource the management element. I don't mind the customer service element. I don't mind because a lot of these things you can automate. So Airbnb as well as other systems can help you manage some of the automation in terms of setting up the lock codes and the communications to the the tenants. So overall, it's not that bad from an administrative perspective. And I am self-employed, so I do have time to write messages to the guests and answer questions. I'm always on my phone, so it's really easy for me to get to the the tenants, which is actually better than some of the property managers. Now think about it. A lot of the property managers, they're so inundated with work that they're actually slow to respond. So there's been a lot of terrible feedback around property managers for short-term rentals for this reason, is that they don't do a great job. And that is the problem when it comes to outsourcing to property managers. If you are a landlord, you know it's hard to find good property managers for long-term rentals, let alone short-term rentals. Short-term rentals require so much upkeep. Now, depending on which location you're at, some of these short-term rental places do require a long-term person on site within 1 hour driving distance. So you do have to pay a third party, like Jersey City, for instance. Atlantic City has this particular requirement. And there are certain locations like in Hawaii, Kona also has this requirement. You need a local person on site that is within 1 hour driving distance. That's a local law. We don't have that in upstate New York and Vermont. So I don't have to hire a property manager to be there at all times. So it just depends on where you're operating your short-term rental. But in my case, I don't outsource it because I find that it's not helpful and it doesn't make my tenants happier. I'm actually better at doing it myself. But of course, that's how you make money, right? Like if you give away 20 to 30% of your profit, that's a huge amount of money. That's a lot.